security problems. And we know security is important for anything. And we know databases or file systems both are going to deal with the data. Think about the data is a confidential data. So obviously, not everyone should be permitted to access the data. So we are required to restrict the data access. So what I mean to say in simple terms is we want to provide authentication as well as authorization. So there are multiple authentication mechanisms so that we can identify whether the right user is accessing the system or not. So authentication is all about identifying the right person is accessing the system or not. Say password is one of the authentication mechanisms, biometrics, facial recognition, voice recognition, all these are authentication mechanisms. Let's take the file. In this file, let's assume we want to restrict access to this file. So what we can do, we can go to the option security and we can lock this file. So whenever any person opens this file, it will ask for the password. So if he gives the right password, this file will be opened. Otherwise, this file will not be opened. Let's assume two people have access to this file and both knows the password. And obviously, both will be getting the same privilege. Let's name them as A and B. A can see employee ID, employee name, department and salary. Similarly, B can also see all these four columns. Let's assume B should be restricted from seeing this salary column. In that case, is there any way to lock this particular column from B? In file system, it's really difficult, isn't it? But in databases, we can create multiple views and we can grant the privilege according to the user's roles and responsibilities. A normal user will have lesser privilege when compared to database administrator. So database administrator has the complete privilege over the database, but not an end user or a naive user. Don't worry about the users. In the coming lectures, we are going to see different users of databases, so we will understand things clearly there. So what I mean to say here is, we need to have authentication and authorization techniques for the data that is stored in the file system or in the database system. But the problem is, providing these things to the file system is really difficult. So databases are really powerful, even addressing security problems. And I'll give you one more example. Suppose if we have multiple files in multiple different locations and each file is having different data. In a university, there is a finance personnel and this guy should not access academic records, and enforcing these access constraints in file system is really difficult. We understand that finance related data only finance personnel should deal with. But if it is in a file system, enforcing such access constraints is really difficult. So we have discussed all the 7 points in this presentation. I hope now you can understand why do we need database management systems over file systems. Because we have seen a lot of drawbacks with the file systems. And that's why we wanted to move our attention towards database management systems. I hope the session is informative and thank you for watching.